So this is the follow-up video to the Ironman. I'm using a GoPro to do this. Usually I use my phone, so if this video sucks, I'm sorry. I wanted to show you what it looked like prior to me pressure washing it, and what the damage is. Obviously I lost a fender, so I lost that one last time. I lost this one this time. You can see that my handlebars are flexed. And then I broke my transponder. My the hand guards I put on like a couple hours before the race are messed up. We'll see how they do. My wheels look straight, and my steering stem looks straight. All right, so before I get into all of this, what happened was I was feeling overconfident, and I went up the most difficult hill, and I hit it. I must have been doing 60, and it flew me up in the air like this. And when I landed, I hit the throttle again, but I ran up like the side of like a bank, and it flipped backwards like this, and then it landed on me. And I used to be a pretty strong guy. I guess I still kind of am. I was able to press it off of me with both my my legs and my arms in a controlled manner. I didn't just roll it off of me. So it felt, I was facing down the hill like this, and then I rolled the bike over to the side, and I tried to hold on to it so it wouldn't go down, flying down the hill, but I guess the angle was too steep, and it flipped once, and then it flipped back onto its wheels, went this way, and then it rolled down and it hit a tree. So it's looking like yeah, this hood's shot. I was hoping I might be able to save it, but it's shot. That's shot. It's junk. That's going to be expensive. So this was already broken before, but it broke here. And this is from the impact from the tree. So that's broken. I'm hoping this cab part is still good. Looks like it's okay, but the radiator support is completely shot. I don't even know how that happened. So, but it still looks like the radiator is in good condition. I drove it from the woods back to my trailer. It looks like it's okay. Sorry about the bad camera work. I'm bad at this stuff. Looks like the frame is all right, and I gotta check it looks like, I mean, it could have been way worse, man. Could have been way worse. And then my seat pins, they were broken already, but this is weird. It broke this little tab right here, and the air box was exposed. So I'm gonna pressure wash it down and then re-examine it. I got people got mad at me. Oh, so here's the I sheared a stud. So that was what the wiggling was when I first hit that tree, if you watch the video. So it looks like this one's bent, this one's sheared. That could have been so much worse. I'm hoping this axle's okay. Yeah, it could have been so much worse. I haven't crawled under there yet. I'm gonna have to crawl under, and when I put it on the ATV lift, and see how it does. Also, this didn't crack. At least it doesn't look like it's cracked. So this investment in the in this rear support was totally worth it. So shout out to Quad Logic. Yeah, everything's shot right there. So in my last video, one of my videos, people got mad because I didn't show me pressure washing my quad. So I'm definitely gonna leave the video in of me pressure on my quad. So I'm gonna put the camera down, and then you'll see a time lapse of me pressure washing my quad. So this is the post mud damage. You can see where all the people were bumping into me during the race, and possibly where it where it rolled. I don't have video of it when it rolled, so I'm not sure if it rolled. I guess it did go backwards with me on top of it. So haven't really discovered any more damage except for one thing, which is what I pretty much expected anyway. Let me get my Harbor Freight mamma jamma going here. You can see that that's all cracked in there, but it looks like the shock tower is still good. Everything else looks good. Frame looks good. No cracks in the frame. Plan on getting all this gusseted. So I'm going to move this into the garage, and I'll start the disassembly. Really cleaning everything for next year. Oh, and one last thing. So I shied away from this all year because I don't like knocking companies, but like this is unacceptable. Like, this is just, and I didn't do this with the pressure washer. If you want to rewind the video, like this is just unacceptable. You know, like that one fell off. I've had to like SC1 like this like crazy to keep it from to make it look, you know, wet or new. But it's these. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's cracked. Oh well. I'll be doing the zip tie mod right there. But this is the company who sold me the kit, so stay away from these guys. Their sticker thickness is great, but the stickers themselves, the laminate that's on top of it, everything else is just subpar. So I'm going to be ripping these off, and then I'll be looking for a new sticker company to work with. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll keep going through this. So this is day 2 of the Scrambler Reconstruction project. I took most of the plastics off except for stuff that I needed to unbolt, and gave it another wash down because there must have been 30 pounds of mud stuck in there. I also took part of the shitty sticker kit I had on off. Found some new stuff that's sort of wasting away. I had my you can see it right there on the ground. I had the exhaust wrap, which even though it came apart, I still recommend doing it. I'm just going to do it a little bit better next time. The exhaust wrap disintegrated, so which I've never seen before. I've been working on cars for a while. I still haven't seen anything other than cosmetic stuff broken. I haven't really taken it for a ride because I need to straighten out those handlebars first. or if they can be straightened out at all. And I need to get this piece of plastic off right here, and then take all the other plastics off so I can get to that radiator and fix all the radiator supports, which is not going to be fun. But it looks like the wheels survived. I see a lot of guys with the 12-inch wheels. It looks like even though the sidewall on the 12-inch is thicker, on the 14s it looks like they're a little bit more robust. It's not as apt to flip the bike when you're in trouble. So I don't know, that's just my theory crafting. It doesn't mean it's backed up by reality. So yeah, day 2, slowly but surely getting there. And then once I get all these plastics off, I'll do another update. I'll repaint this and order the other bumper and stuff like that. So anyway, talk to you at the next update. So it's been a while since I updated this. Actually, it's been since I think October, right after Ironman. So I've done some stuff to repair the bike that I flipped up the hill. Some of the it actually survived better than I thought it was going to. But in that time, I've been doing nothing but buying parts, preparing for the 2018 season. In fact, a F350 full of parts. And I'm heading to Georgia to work with Christopher Riggin, who won the 4x4B last year and is now in 4x4A, and he's going to teach me tips and tricks. So since I believe in making the community better, I will be teaching you the same tips and tricks. Yeah, and you know, hopefully you guys will learn something from all the shit that we're about to do to this thing. So stay tuned. So made it down to Georgia and started to work on this thing. Found more and more stuff that is tore up. So this is a common problem and a design flaw with the Polaris is once you start racing and once you start really getting on this thing, like this is even a problem for dudes with regular riding, is this belly pan starts hitting the oil pan. So we're gonna clean all this off and see where we're at. And Chris said he might have an extra skid plate, so stay tuned. Ironman dirt.
That guy we were talking to at the place, my cousin, his family's from Indiana, or his mom is. That's why he...
Wheel comes off. Brake caliper comes off. It's 2 bolts.
Yep.
This is what, like a...
I think it's 27.
27. Undo the bolt. I'll take the cotter pin out, undo the bolt, and next we're going to take the...
And that's when you pull the hub off.
We're going to pull the hub and take the tie rods out.
Yeah, so now we're going to take the tie rods out and then remove the knuckles and the axles, the shocks, and the arms.
All right. And then it's going to get replaced with all the Cecco front knuckles that have the good bearings in them, right?
That's right.
All right. So look, brake 1, brake 2. What else we got here? This fucking radiator support's not looking very happy either. Oh yeah.
Jesus. You got some bad luck on that thing.
I just can't drive. Alright, let's try and fix all this.
Is that supposed to have that bend in it? I guess it is, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's not really a good design. Look.
You get a lot of mud packed in there. You might have to try that. I got this glue shit that you use.
I just can't help but getting my mud packed all the time, Chris. So. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Boom. You're a smart motherfucker.
I hate doing it like that.
I mean, it is what it
You
is.
shouldn't have to do that anymore, though, if you keep it greased up and all that.
So that's how you get an axle out, people of the internet. Got the arms off. And we got what? Take the axles out, right?
No, these can stay. The rear axles.
The rear axles are fine. Right? That's right. I'm sorry. And then we got most of the radiator support off. Both front axles are out. And I'm transferring these grease, what do they call them, Zerk fitting? From the stock stuff to the new arms that don't come with them. A-arms, axles are off. What else?
Knuckles are off.
Knuckles are off.
Hubs.
Alright.
We still got to pull the drive shaft, change the pinion cover, change the cage and the diff. Of course, we got to weld in the gussets. And put all the other new shit back on there.
Couple minutes, right?
Couple minutes.
Alright. Alright, so we're knocking the drive shaft pin out, which is right here, so that we can change put the Cecco rear diff plate on, correct?
Yep.
Alright. So you just hammer that pin out with a punch, right?
That's right.
You use a punch.
I used a bolt.
Don't not. Alright, so we knocked the drive shaft back.
Yep. Now we're gonna loosen these up and change this pinion cover.
Alright, we're gonna use, it's a, what is that, like a cast aluminum cover?
It is.
And then Cecco sells this what is this, like a billet aluminum.
Yeah, and Ceccos are better because they've got a stop for the bearing and the bushing, so that stuff doesn't go in too far. Some of the other ones on the market don't have that, and you can install them wrong, basically.
So when we get that thing on, I'll start the video again.
We do need to go ahead and drain the fluid out of this thing.
Oh yeah, we'll also drain the diff fluid. That's easy. There's just a little screw under there, and you drain it. And that's all she wrote. And we'll also be changing the rear diff fluid and the transmission fluid. So all you got to do with the front diff fluid is this right here, and it drains right out, and then you put it back in. Was it on this side? And you put it back in. Sorry if the camera work sucks. Oh, right here. That's easy. I can't wait to see what this fluid looks like too. Usually diff fluid stinks. It smells like...
It should be clear. Ooh.
That's not too bad. Stop.
Looks worse than mine when I change it, but when you do it every hour or two of runtime, you see all the...
So this diff fluid it's not too bad. Jesus.
It's not terrible, but it's not as good as I'd like to see it.
This diff fluid has two GNCC races on it. How bad's the magnet?
So it's not bad. I mean, it's normal to get that sludge, But there's no chips or chunks in there, which is a good sign.
It's okay, good. Like I said, this bike was built on a Wednesday or something. This is actually, I got a good one. So, what's next? I'll start the video again when the cage and the rear diff thing is in, and then I'll also do the oil and the fucking, or not the oil. I've already done a video on that, but the tranny fluid and the rear diff fluid.
I don't know, maybe some purple power or something.
Yeah, it's got one green stalk on it, that's it.
I know. Heather wants to tear it out and put another one there, and I'm like, it's taken 10 years to get them to that size.
I'm not finding anything close to that size, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get lucky, get the nurse that have some big ones in, and they're like, you got it.
So you take a Scotch Brite pad and then you just you knock off the
rust. Be sure there's no burrs or anything like that on there.
What? In where? He said in the backyard.
Oh no, it's in here. I forgot, it's right
Oh,
there.
there, okay.
My bad.
He was hanging over his other foot.
Yeah.
I'll see you now.
Yeah, we were gonna.
I wonder why it's so bright in here. I thought you had oh, there's the lights on.
Just a thin layer.
I'm hiding with the guys calling money. Man, I can't find a history. Is he going to look in? They're back there. Keep looking. They're back there.
So where's the gasket?
That's the gasket that doesn't come with it.
Okay.
You gotta take that out and move it over to this one. And that's it. Swap your gasket over and you're good to go.
Got enough belts?
Got a couple. Belts?
Yeah, but the wind's a little cold.
Cool.
28 tonight, though.
Pins back in, diffs on. It was super easy.
It wasn't bad.
Also, make sure that you grease that fitting, if you can say it. Because I haven't been, and I should have been, so.
I'm going to disconnect. Hold on to this piece. I'm going to disconnect this so you can set this in a clean spot. Because all that shit's got to stay clean, obviously. Okay. Here you go. This too has to go.
Was that a snap ring?
Yeah. I know how to throw it. Don't worry.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I mean, I know my way around a diff too. It's just,
Built for paddle.
yeah.
All right.
So I guess you can do it while it's in there, huh?
You can.
It's not fun. So what am I looking at for the people at home?
Well, you're looking at the inside of a differential.
Right. But
Polaris
so
Scrambler.
what are we replacing here?
So we're taking out. Got to take this hub out of here. Take this bearing off first. And see it suctioned in there from all the fluid. So bam, there's your cage. This piece right here.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be taking out and replacing with the billet.
And as soon as we take that plastic out, it's gonna fucking, those little sprags are gonna go everywhere, aren't they?
Right. Did yours have the rollers?
I didn't open it yet.
Okay. So before we
I'll
go too
open
far,
it.
we might want to
Yeah.
open this thing up and take a look at it.
So there's
It's
the
your lucky
sleeve.
day.
So this is cast aluminum instead of plastic.
Right. What we'll do is we'll take the other one out, and then this sleeve allows you to set it on there and just push this in without having to
Alright.
hold all these little bearings and stuff. It's going to be a lot easier with this. No question about it. It can be done.
Yeah, but this wasn't fun. We had to move the power steering unit up, and
Yeah.
it's not, the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're replacing the pinion cover at the same time, I mean, at that point, the only thing you'd have to disconnect, unbolt, would be these two on top, and you can take the entire diff out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're only like 2 bolts away from having the diff out.
So again, this is going to come out, and we're going to take this sleeve and push it in, because these roller bearings, they'll blow out when you put them in. So.
It's the wrong one.
Stop.
I swear to God, this is for a 12. This is a 12 roll. This is a 10. Yep, swear to God, I gave you the wrong one.
So right now, we got the Super ATV sent us the wrong cage. You need a 12. What's the word I'm looking for? 12 row cage. They sent me a 10. ATV is giving me a full refund, and they're letting me keep the cage, which is, you know, I say what you want about Super ATV, but their customer service is pretty good. So I had to call who? Dave Carter to have them overnight me a diff, or not even a diff, it's just a cage.
Right.
And I got to reuse my old sprag rollers. So, yay. So we're going to work on the back of the bike, putting the rest of the shit on there, try to keep busy, and then Doug Moore from, what is he, in the lights?
Mm-hmm.
What's
4x4 lights?
4x4 lights and GNCC. He came in what, third, fifth?
I'm not sure what he only raced a few of those.
Anyway, so he's coming over and he's going to help me. We're going to reinforce the frame a little bit and just try to keep it moving. And then hopefully that that sprag carrier comes in enough time where we can complete the bike and I can get back up to Philly. So anyway, when I'll update this when we start working on the back of the bike. This is a bad design. Whoever Polaris thought of this is just, I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but this is dumb. So there's tabs right here that are under the frame that hold this radiator, I guess, platform on. And what happens is if you hit something, not only does it break all of this stuff, which I guess it's sort of like a crumple zone, maybe. I'm giving Polaris the benefit of the doubt here. But what happens is it bends these tabs, and it's never really the same after that. So I'll reassemble everything and then show you what it looks like when I'm done. No goggles. So these are the frame gussets we're going to be putting on the bike. We've also started drinking. What time is it? What is it? So we're on like hour 12. But yeah. What you got to do is you got to take the paint off the frame so that the gusset will take any. I mean, I'm sure some of you out there are welders or whatever, but I'm not. So, and you always want to wear gloves and goggles. and wait till the grinder comes to a complete stop before. It's going on YouTube. Tasty treat. Yeah.
Y'all got brake lines loose?
Yeah.
That motherfucker's twisted. So yeah.
We've been fucking around with that shit all day.
Okay.
That needs to be tightened.
Yeah, that needs to be tightened, but not right now.
Brakes type thing. I don't know how he keeps been racing like that, man.
Pure talent.
It's stuck in the air. Huh?
Pure talent. That looks good, Doug. With a Harbor Freight Craftsman, or not Harbor Freight, but Sears Craftsman welder.
Freight helmet?
Harbor Freight helmet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So these are gussets. Because we had cracks, right?
Couldn't wait for a whole
Major
day.
cracks in the frame.
Major cracks.
Jack, monkey.
I'm sure someone out there is like a super welder or something like that, but we're doing the best we can.
Hopefully listening up.
So what's the benefit of the steel rear knuckles?
So the stock knuckles, this ring that holds the bearing in,
You end up snapping the aluminum off the stock knuckles, and all that stuff will come apart and just cause a big catastrophe.
Send you in the woods like you can't go.
This is my favorite part about these knuckles.
I crashed into a tree at Coker. That was more had to do with fucking the lack of power steering.
Man,
And being it could be.
shit.
No, I had nothing. I had complete muscle failure, and I went right into a tree. Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
well, see how nothing's lining up here? See how it's like a quarter of an inch off?
That's not cool, is it?
What's up with that? Look.
Just force it.
No.
Well, mine was a little off too, but maybe we should loosen the arms.
You got those tight?
They're all tight, yeah. Now I could probably pry it in there.
No, let's don't pry it. Let's loosen them and then get everything. Yeah. Loosen everything and then get it going and then tighten everything up at once.
We changed the spark plugs on my bike, and we were going to change this thing out because this thing breaks all the time, but it's in there really good, and we're running out of time, and it's not, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So these need to be tightened down to 19, 17 foot-pounds.
Yeah, roughly about 16 and a half to 19 foot-pounds.
And the gap is 35 on the 850. But these look good. I don't know if this is focusing or not because I'm using the little GoPro from my helmet, but rear suspension's completely done. Sway bar, knuckles, brakes. Yeah. So we're getting there. So what's going on now? We're now working on the clutch.
Yeah, so to change the bolt on a stock secondary,
Now
you have
isn't
to take this out. This bolt has got to come out.
and that's a reverse bolt or something, right?
No, this one's not reversed. This one is reversed. The primary is reversed.
All right.
But you don't have to mess with that to change the bolt. So with this type of clutch, you got to take this bolt out, right? all this stuff in order here. And then that. You don't have to take the sheave off. It just came off. So let's get the bolts out. There, okay.
So let's. This belt looks pretty good, man. I mean, I don't see anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not looking at this. You're looking at here.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah, yeah.
See how shiny it is?
Yeah.
It's glazed over, right?
Right. Okay.
So,
yep.
you know, what that means is that it's slipped at times. You know what I mean? Typically when it's glossy like that. Now, on this machine, these washers indicate how tight the belt's going to be. So the less washers, the tighter the belt.
Okay.
So we've got 4 in there now. And I think what we're going to do is just go with, we're just going to go with 3.
Okay.
I mean, that'll tighten you up a little bit, and I don't want to get too tight with it and it hurts on you.
Yeah, I don't want it too tight either. It's going to hurt.
Yeah. But you can fix, you know, I mean, this isn't that big of a deal. Again, when you do this, you can adjust it with these. It's just the way this clutch is working. So. Now I always put the belt in so the Polaris kind of faces this way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter really, but when you take the belt out, like a used belt, you want to put the used belt back in the same way that it came out, and that just gives you a good way to know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, don't they sell like a clutch tool or something funny you need, or some sort of bullshit? Like, this seems a lot easier than what I've read on the internet, because the internet's always right.
Mm-hmm. Well, to pull the primary clutch off, you gotta have a puller. And I've got one over there.
Okay, so you need a.
But you don't need a puller for what we're doing here. All you need is what we got.
This seems way more intimidating than it actually is. This seems like it's not that bad.
It's not. So, and then you just torque this to spec, and I believe it's 37 foot-pounds. It's 37. I know it's 37. Let me have a look. This is 47. It's 37.
And then you're gonna check the weights, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's reverse thread, so tightening it actually loosens
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So remember, that's standard. This is reverse. Now we're taking out all these bad boys here. These 10 millimeters. Of course, I've already loosened some up.
It amazes me how much cast aluminum is in this thing. And it's still heavy, you know?
Well, like I've got the stock primary, this is a good clutch. This clutch on the 1000s doesn't work very good. It works better on the 850s. So I use an STM secondary, it's billet. It's about $500, but it's a good clutch, a very good clutch. It's got a replaceable tunable helix in it, you know. Of course, this one doesn't. That's all fixed.
You get what you pay for.
Right. So what'll happen, there's a clutch spring in here, and it's pushing out on the plate now, right? So this last bolt's almost a little bit more involved. You get past that. Now another thing, you can take all these out before you take the center bolt out too. Okay. So, if you notice on this plate, there's going to be a mark on here. See that X?
Yep.
Right? So it's got to line up with the X on here. See, there's an X
Got
on
it.
that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep,
Like
yep.
everything's balanced the way that it was designed to be.
So if you change the weight of this spring, what happens?
So a stiffer spring will make the belt ride up the clutch slower, right? This opens up slower,
Right.
so it revs higher, right? Too stiff of a spring, you'll get above the rev limit, the stock rev limit. So, you know, the key is to get it to rev up close to that rev limit and hold that RPM all the way to, you know, the top speed, or to touch rev limit about the time you reach top speed. You can also put spacers in here, right, that give you a little more stall, so you give it gas and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stall, like in a car type thing. Same scenario. Well, I probably should have. If we were going to take the weights out, I would have done it while the belt was off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can push the sheet back and then unbolt it and get it out of there. But we're just looking to make sure that they're free. See how it's moving?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want.
Okay.
See?
But it's easy enough just to take the belt right off. It's like what
Right.
the bolt that.
See, one way to know if they're sticking bad is to kind of put your finger on this weight and then turn this, and if this whole bolt spins, then you know it's not really hanging up bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a lot of resistance, then it's sticking and you need to pull it out and clean it. But ideally, we should have done that when we were. See, it's fine. We should have done this when we had the belt off, to be honest with you. I can tell you that.
I got some good compression.
Yeah. Well, and the belt is, your belt was worn more than this one. See how you've got the thread, the little line? I use that as a gauge, the thread in the belt. See how it's riding just above the secondary?
I mean, I got a season out of it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I mean, what did I had?
But that belt was trashed. It was glazed. I mean, you know, on mine, I'll see like little spots here and there, various spots that'll be glazed, but your entire belt was glazed.
Okay.
So, you know, you can put a, let me look at something real quick. The thing is, this would be an experiment. We're not an experiment.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the belt. There's no. It's not shiny.
So you've got these various clutch springs.
Yeah.
So this one would engage a little higher and probably give you more RPM, but we don't know without testing it if it's going to rev you out too high. So we're going to stick with the stock spring for now. If we had more time, we did it.
In the factory, like when you press the throttle down, that's from the belt, or is that from the weights? Because it hesitates. You got to give it a little gas in order for it to.
Like it'll rev the snap.
Yeah.
Or it just like bog, and then go.
Yeah, it bogs and then it goes.
I think that was your build, possibly, or something else to do with the compression or something. You know what I mean? With those gloves the way they were. But weights also. So the heavier the weight, the faster it's going to push out. Heavier weights are similar to a softer spring. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, a spring adjusts RPM across the entire band. With weights, you can tune the weights and where the weight is on the actual, the mass is on the actual weight to tune like off throttle, mid throttle, wide open throttle, cruising, RPM, that sort of thing. But sometimes you can get what you need just with a spring change.
So you just put the bolts back in, cover back on, and we're done.
We're going to torque this to 47 foot-pounds.
All right.
And these are probably, if I had to guess, they're probably 89 inch-pounds.
Okay.
Just basically snug till they seat. You know, you don't want to go crazy with them.
Common sense.
Right.
Today is Saturday, a week later from what I'm sure is the video that you just finished watching, if anybody even watches these. And clearly you can see Chris made progress on the bike while I was away. Everything's tightened up for the most part. But this Quad Logic bumper, Quad Logic didn't send me any of the hardware to put this thing on. So what we're doing is, we got rid of these hex bolt things. As you can see, I'm pretty sure you probably won't be able to see it on the video, but from me hitting trees and stuff like that, this thing's actually bent. Hold on, that might help. See it in the center. It's a little bent, and the thread started to strip. So Chris came up with an idea of getting what do we get? A stronger bolt?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're using a 5/16 standard.
So when you on some of these bumpers, they have this welded in right here, like a sleeve, and you actually can't take this hood off without undoing these bolts each time, which is a pain in the balls. So I don't know if Quad Logic thought that they were doing me a favor by not giving me this shit, but I had to buy lower bolts because it didn't come with it, and we had to come up with, Chris came up with this way of securing the bumper with spacers, so that A, we don't have to loosen anything in order to get the hood off, and B, because it didn't come with any hardware. So we're gonna have to go back to Lowe's because we didn't get the right shit, and when it's all said and done, I'll show you how to do it.